And I think we're live. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Tamara here with special guest Amy Tasukada.
Yeah.
And we come to you to talk with you about our writing goals. We're ending out 2016 and we are going to start 2017 on a good note. So cheers to that.
I don't have my teacup with me. I was taking a nap, which is horrible, so I can't cheer off with you.
How do you not have tea?
I know. I slept. I came home early and I'm like, let me sleep so I can stay up late.
Oh my gosh, you are not on brand. Okay, I am going to take this link and share it on my Facebook page. And by the way, you can find us all over the internet, and I have listed our links in the description of the YouTube video, so you can find us wherever you want to.
Yes, and if you want to ask us questions, you can do it on the stream on YouTube if you feel like it, or if you don't want to do the YouTube thing, you can go to writestuff and just use hashtag writestuff on Twitter, and that's WRIGHT stuff, STUFF, and we will answer those questions and any other questions you have about us or writing in general. We are open to all writerly questions, indeed. And maybe some non-writery questions, but then it gets iffy.
Yeah, don't make it weird, y'all. Just
don't be awkward. Don't be awkward, guys.
Yeah, please. I'm awkward enough on my own. Believe me. I don't need the help. So, gosh, it's that time. I don't even know how it became December. I'm still kind of in shock, and I'm not even sure if it's real.
Yeah. Well, it gets faster because it's less of a fraction of your life. So, if you're 28, then 1 year is 1/28th. But if you're 7, it's 1/7. So it feels like longer. So. At least that's how I like to look at it. I'm like, oh, it's a smaller fraction of my life. That's why it seems to go faster. Yeah.
That makes sense. It definitely makes sense. My mom always says that like every year it feels like life goes a little faster. But she's also a little bit more bored. I don't know how that works. I was going to post a link in the AuthorTube site.
I already did that. I'm on top of it.
Oh, wow.
I'm all with it.
So AuthorTube is, or AuthorTubers is a group on Facebook of people who are writers, and they have YouTube channels. So if you fit that, then you should definitely check it out. And so let's start with talking about the goals that we had set for the fourth quarter. By the way, in case you guys don't know, this would be the fourth time that we've done this live stream, and we talk about our goals, what we plan to do, what we had planned, how it worked out, what we want in the future. It's pretty simple, but it's a way to keep ourselves accountable and to kind of check in with you guys and see how you're doing. And we are part of a group called #writestuff. And that meets every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a Facebook group for that as well.
Yeah.
And there was actually some conversation within the chat this last time that I didn't catch until later when I was looking over comments and things, that there's some people who are interested in doing like a monthly check-in for goals.
That's interesting.
I thought that sounded interesting too, and I'm definitely into it. So what we'll probably do is have a monthly check-in within the Facebook group, but still do these quarterly live streams. Because I think that us doing a video every month would be overkill. But to kind of check in Is we do, Amy and I, just on our own, do daily check-ins with each other.
Yeah, it's nice to have that person there to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. And the next day be like, oh, I totally didn't do that.
I totally actually forgot that I was going to do anything. And then I took a lot of naps and played with my cat. Okay, so you could start with talking about your goals.
Oh, okay. Well, let me pull up my window. So this is from October to December, if I'm correct. So yeah, October I wanted to send out 2 newsletters, which I did, and I wanted to gain 30 subscribers to my newsletter, which, you know, those are important to send out when you like get a book release. You'd be like, bam, look at my book. And I like give out a free short story, and I not only got 30, but I got like 211. So I got like quadruple the amount. And then I wanted to write in the next Yakuza book, edit chapters 1 through 13. I did that, and I was writing a romance book too. I wanted to get to 12,000 words with that, and I did that, and that was awesome. And then also in October, I wanted to go to my in-person writing group meeting, and I actually wanted to bring something to critique there. With that, you bring like about 10 minutes worth of your story and you read it out loud in front of people. And I'm always like really anxious when I read out loud, just in general. And you're reading your own stuff out loud, and usually I go really fast and no one understands me. But like that time I did well. I was like completely shocked. I'm like, yes, I did it. Like people could understand me as I read. So I did that. I already seemed to like it. So that was good. And then in November, I like to split these up into like smaller goals. November, I wanted to get the covers made for my books that were coming out in December. And I wanted to gain 100 subscribers that month. So I gained 143. And then I wanted, on top of the other ones, yeah, there's a lot, which I'm happy about. But then, yeah, so now I'm kind of worried about like getting good ones that like open the stuff. So I'm trying to work on that, because you can have a big list. If they don't open your emails, then it's kind of like, what's the point? So I wanted to get to 24K of a romance book, and then edit chapters 14 through 24. And some of them weren't as good, but I did get all of them. And then I couldn't go to my in-person critique group because I had a sinus infection and I felt really icky, so I didn't go. And then December, it's not over yet, but I wanted to release my 2 books, and I did that. And then I need to finish the romance book first draft, which I still got some days to do that. Thank you very much. I want to edit chapters 25 through 33 in the Yakuza book, and I'm getting there slowly, but it's getting done. So yeah, it's not over yet, but I still feel like I can accomplish all that stuff. Maybe that romance book writing is gonna be the death of me, but I can do it. What were some of your accomplishments or goals for those 3 months that we had? Oh, this is strange. Tamara, I think you muted your mic because I can't hear you. Oh, now it's unmuted. Okay, and then I still can't hear you. Hold on a second. Let me see. Are you talking? Yeah, it's not showing that you're talking. Yeah, I'm checking the live stream and it's still not showing you as being a vocal person. So I will bring up this window and I'll talk some more, which is fine. Tamara's gonna figure that out, and then I'll just continue chatting with you guys, so don't worry, we'll be right here to talk with you while she figures that out. She muted herself. Okay, so let's see, those are my goals. And I'm happy that I accomplished them. I'm part of like a ton of writing groups online, and one of them actually you post your goals every month. So I like to do that, and then I like to break them down into smaller daily goals, which I think makes it easier to deal with than if I just said, you know, these big, huge goals all at once. And that would be just a really big pain. And Tamara looks like she's getting stuff together, which is awesome. So we will continue with her.
I don't know what's going on here.
Awesome. It works. I can hear you.
Okay, well, good enough then.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Well, it wouldn't be our stream unless something happened.
Very true. So, my third quarter was kind of rough since I had, like, I don't know, a lot of stuff going on. So I decided to make my fourth quarter goals kind of easier on myself and just complete things that I'd been working on anyway. So one of the goals was to publish the Appalachian Terror Trail, and that happened. That launched last Friday, and there's a link in the description if anyone's interested. And I wanted to launch my newsletter, which that happened. There's also a link for that. I wanted to do NaNoWriMo, and I participated, and I reached my goal successfully. I wanted to vlog it daily, and I didn't quite do that. I think I got, out of 30 days, I vlogged maybe 18 or 20 or something. So it was not every day, but I did vlog, and I did live streams and stuff. So I felt good enough about it. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but at least I participated, and you know. So let's see. And oh, and I wanted to finish my rough draft before the end of the year, and we're not quite at the end of the year. I still have days left. So
that's what I said too. I'm like, we're not done yet.
It's gonna happen. That's it for my goals.
I'm looking at our chat, and it looks like Wordfall said that she was editing and cutting connections right now, and then highlighting the POV and a draft and editing for the first time. So she's really nervous, and I would say like editing rocks. So love it. If you're me, I love my editing so much. I think it's fun. And then Jasmine says hi. So yeah, and that she hasn't been doing much writing this semester, only poetry as usual, but Jasmine has some cool poetry going on, so that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you do poetry, don't you, Tamara?
Yes, we do. Yes, I do. Yeah, and I think Jasmine and I, we've actually just talked about poetry before, even on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, if anyone is watching this and wants to tweet us out some questions or comments, use the hashtag writestuff, and I'll be looking at that. There's no comments on there at the moment, but just wanted to update.
I think you brought up like a good point about like changing the goals and then not completely feeling like defeated and beat up when you don't do as well as you wanted. And I think that's good to like kind of reevaluate where you are. I think I did that with some of the because the edits for the Yakuza 2 book were getting more difficult because I kind of rushed the second edits. So the third edits for the second half were like, oh my, this is so horrible. So I had to like take extra time to do the later chapters because they just weren't as good. So they were taking me much longer to do. And then I had that sinus infection, which was annoying. Getting sick. What's up with that?
It's that time of year. I haven't, where's the wood? I haven't gotten sick yet, but I know that it's coming. I've had like close calls where I started inundating myself with liquids and sleeping. So I was like, it's coming. I can feel it. I'm going to knock this out.
So there's a flu season in Hawaii too and everything.
You know, when I lived in West Virginia, I would get sick way more often than I do here, but I still get a thing once or twice a year. But when I lived in West Virginia, I would get sick winter. It was the entirety of winter. I would have bronchitis, and sometimes that would change into like some type of sinus funk thing that I was taking all kinds of crazy antibiotics for. So I don't like the heat, but I can breathe better here. So.
Breathing's good. That's a good thing, you know.
Breathing's pretty special, you guys. I don't know if you know about it, but it's pretty key. So I made a video, what was that? Is that Monday? Tuesday? I don't even know what Tuesday is. I made a video where I talked about the importance of setting goals that are actually obtainable. Like, don't overload yourself. Do not set goals for yourself that are too involved. If you know you don't have a lot of time in the day, then create goals for yourself that are going to work within what you have available. Because at the end of the day, it's about you reaching whatever it is that you want to achieve. And when you make it too hard, then you get discouraged, you feel bad, you don't want to do it anymore, you feel like you can't perform. But it's not true. You just have to work within what you can do. Yeah. What kind of advice do you have for people for setting good goals for themselves for 2017?
I want to make sure that you do like ones that are feasible, you know, that have a set kind of deadline or a set, they're not infinite. Like, you don't say, I want to write more, because what does more mean? Does it mean like one word more or one sentence? So make sure it's something that's clear and defined. I think last year we talked about like SMART goals, and that was one of the things, but I think that's the best thing. And then always like break it down to smaller goals. Like I have, you know, throughout the whole year, it was to edit this book, but every day I broke it down into this is this chapter today, and this is this chapter tomorrow. And even when I got to like my computer, it was like, okay, write for 45 minutes, and, you know, chunking it into much smaller chunks always is a good, you know, inch by inch you'll get there kind of expression.
When I was doing research about goal setting, there was one thing that I read that really stuck with me, and it was so simple, but it made so much sense. Set goals for things that you actually are motivated to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but it's something like, I was like, oh wow, you know, that seems obvious, but
yeah,
the thing about it is, like, I think a lot of times us as writers and authors and people wanting to be published, we feel as though we have to do these certain things, and that these things are what makes us a writer and what makes us an author. But not all of it's true. You don't have to do every single social media platform so that you can be successful, you know? You don't have to do everything yourself. Even if you're self-publishing, you can farm out different stuff. So if you don't like doing cover design work,
and also if you're not good at it too, don't take on things you're not good at. So don't make your own cover if you don't have any experience with it. Just to add that fine eye, and then think about it in terms of like. And then I talked about this, like, I don't know how to format books. I could spend. I was talking to my formatter, and she says that for her to format, and she's like a professional, it takes her like 5 to 10 hours, depending on how complicated the design is. So I'm thinking, okay, 5 hours minimum just to set it up, and then I don't know how to do it. So that would probably be like another 10 hours figuring out how to format it correctly, or however many hours it takes to make it look nice. And I'm like, do I want to spend that time writing, or do I want to spend that time learning to format? And, you know, think about it in terms of that, because then you got the added stress level with it and all this other stuff. So decide what for you is more valuable with your time. Decide what's worth it. Yeah. But also be able to roll with the punches. Like with me, there was some issues that kind of cropped up a few days before the book was about to launch, and I had to learn how to format my book. Yeah, I'm like, I pulled that example. I'm like, oh, Tamara knows this one.
Oh my gosh. I never had any intention of learning how to do that. That wasn't something that was on my horizon. I didn't want to do it, but sometimes you have to just do what you got to do to get things done. And I would say it's a very simple format. Let me tell you, super simple. But because I am totally unfamiliar with that whole realm, it took me a long time. Like 15 hours was probably like on the low side of how long it took me, because I didn't know what I was doing.
Hours and hours.
Yeah, it was a rough few days, but it happened and I did it and it's fine. And now I have this skill that I never knew I would need, but I did once, so who knows, I might need it again, and I will be able to do that if need be. Yeah. Let's see. Yes. We did talk earlier this year about SMART goals and making sure our goals are measurable. And what did SMART stand for?
Yeah. I think, like, let's see, SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely.
Right.
So, yeah.
So thinking in terms, well, let's look and see if anyone has sent a tweet or.
Well, we did get a comment on the AuthorTube site asking that if they can join in Twitter, which is obviously something you can always do. And the next chat after this one will probably be in about 3 months when we do the quarter check-in, I assume, if you want to keep this up next year. Yes. But there's always a live recording after it's done on Tamara's channel, so you can always just click the live recording or the recorded of the live, so that will always be up forever and ever. And I'll share a secret that most of the time, like when the month comes around that we do this, I'm like, oh my, what did I say? What's my goal? And I look back over it. I'm like, what did I say? I don't remember any of the things I talked about. And I always think I should write this down. This will be easier if I write it down. And I don't.
Never.
It's a smart goal of me to do.
Like, last time I had microphone issues, of course, but that one was really crazy because the microphone just stopped working for the entirety of the thing. So looking back at that video, I was like, I don't know anything I said here, so just never mind. I'll just remember what I wanted to do. I'll use that memory thing. Cool.
Well, I know if we do the right stuff, community monthly posts, that will probably be easier for us because we just look back on the past 3 months and be like, that's what I said that I wanted to do. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I was thinking that, well, I don't really have to talk about this during the broadcast, but I'm just going to throw it out there. I was thinking that I would do like a pin post and have that be the pin that's up for most of the month or something.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. So that's a group on Facebook that anybody can join. You do got to ask, but we are pretty open as long as you're not under 13 or something like that. You know, within Facebook rules, we let most people join. Just don't be a jerk, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Just don't be a jerk. We don't want jerks in our community. But anybody can join that, so you can, if you want to take part in the monthly role taking of that, then you can go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing with Write Stuff is I wanted it to be a group that anyone who's a writer can join. So there's nothing about certain genres or anything. It's not genre specific at all. We have people who write fantasy, romance, LGBTQ plus stories, thriller, horror, contemporary fiction. It runs the gambit. Poetry.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of people, and I always think it's nice to see, because we do those tweets every Tuesday, and it's nice to see the big diversity within the community. Like the other Amy does something similar to what I write, but then we have like the dragon person wins that does the dragon stuff, which I'm always just like, oh my, this is so fun. And like just not something I would ever like think of before like existed, but it does, so that's always fun.
Yeah, creature writers, a lot of their main characters are dragons and Gryffindors. It's really cool. I don't know, I like it too. I like it when our dragons come to play. This probably sounds really nerdy to anyone who's listening. Okay, fantastic. So what are you looking for 2017? Like what's something that you want to change in your writing life?
No, I want to get more books out there. Does that count as a change? Like I have 2 out now, and my big hope is to have 4 more by the end of the year. So I guess I have to be like, I want to say more serious, but I think I was serious before, but now I have like, I think my big change since I wait, I can hold them up. Since I have these 2 out, see, I have this one and that one. I have these, I know, aren't they nice? Oh my, I'm like working with other people, and it's awesome and then frustrating at the same time, depending on who you work with. So I feel like I'm learning a bunch of like, don't use this person ever again, or like, this person's awesome, let me tell them how awesome they are over and over, so they like me more. Will come to me. So I think that's my big thing, because my big shift is because before it was just focused on writing, and now I have to focus on like marketing and getting reviews and more like author entrepreneurial stuff, the author as a business, as opposed to like the author who's just writing. That's I guess going to be the big shift for me in 2017, is from taking it to like a hobby to business.
That is an excellent point, the author as a business. One of the things that I want to do is learn more about the marketing aspect of this whole shebang. There's so much that goes to it, and I've put out a poetry anthology, and then I put out a poetry collection that was mine, and the Appalachian Terror. I have such a hard time saying this. The Appalachian Terror Trail is a short story anthology of myself and 7 others. So there's like a different way that I can put this book out there than I would poetry. And then one of my goals is to finally get Blood Roses and Honeysuckles out on the market, and that's going to be an entirely different process as well. But I think that learning how to market these different aspects of my writing is going to really help me in the future, because I want to continue putting out short stories and poetry and actual novels.
Yeah, it's a very, like, I don't know, I think before I'm like, oh, you just kind of do the stuff, but it's kind of like it's always there, like you feel like there's always like one more site you can post it on kind of issue with me. So I think I really have to figure out, like, this is how much time I'll spend doing marketing, and then I won't spend that much more time on it, because it feels like something that you could spend like days and days on and still have more places that you discover that you could do things with. And once you get like X amount of views, then you can post it over here, and then, oh my, it seems like a big mountain to tackle. But I think I want to start doing, like, you can only work on it for X amount of time, because I don't want it to, one of the best marketing tools is to actually just write more books. So I don't want to let that dissipate.
Yeah, definitely. And, there's people that have entire careers that are just marketing. So you literally could get totally lost in that world. And sure, that book is getting some press now, or is getting some eyes, but everyone who reads that first book is looking for the second. They want the follow-up. Even I don't know, it's like like Netflix culture has infiltrated the book world. You know,
I think
we
so
all
too.
want to do,
Yeah.
we all want to do that. Watch
Binge reading,
one show
yeah.
after another, or read one book after another. Like
Mhm.
most people enjoy that experience. And even if you write standalones, but they want to have something more of yours to look forward to.
Mhm.
And everything that I've read about being a self-published author, which is the track that both of us are on.
Yeah. Well, technically I'm hybrid, but I just have to say that. Just FYI. But at the same time, I'm kind of like annoyed at it. Like I'm fine with it, but when like this one, Happy Merry Christmas, is the one that a publisher picked up. And at the same time, like I'll do something to help like promote it, and then I don't know if it's working because I only control the print rights to it, and not that many people buy print books. So I don't know. I'm like, when I did this work, but with my other book, which is mine, I could be like, yeah, that worked because I got a spike. I mean, not a huge, but I got a little spike. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably from that thing I did. But so it's hard to judge as that, and I think. Before I was thinking like maybe I'll do more with my little publisher that did that, but now I'm like, but I don't like not knowing what's going on. And that's something that I don't have that aspect of control to know what I'm doing is working.
With my poetry collection, that was the first thing I published, and it was with a small print. And I had that problem too, and it's really difficult to try to get any sort of information from the publisher. I don't think they necessarily want to share that information with the author, which I'm sure for some people that's fine, but for me, I didn't know what I was doing. Like you were saying, I didn't know if what I was doing was actually working or helping. I wasn't sure how many books were being sold completely, because I think that the first year I didn't have print, or I can't remember how the contract went. It was a very long and involved thing, but and this was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But it did teach me that right now I prefer the self-published track. And if something happens later on, that's fine. But for the moment, I want to self-publish.
Yeah, I've come to really like it because I feel very like in control. And I remember when the publisher had it, I would like, so when do I get the edit back? Because I would just hire the editor out, and she'd be like, you get it in 3 weeks, and I say okay, and the publisher's like, you'll get it sometime in November. I'm like, that's like 2 months from now. I'm like, why it's taking so long? So and that control thing is, I think, something that I am enjoying, having supreme power over. Feel like the destiny is in your hand. Like you can make this or not make it kind of issue. Are you looking at our comments?
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they got a good conversation going. Let's see. Nara says she should reactivate her Twitter, which I'm going to agree with. That way she can join the Write Stuff community. Yes.
Words Fall. Yes, I did see the tag. She created a writer's like 2017 writing goals tag, and she tagged me. So yes, I did see that.
Aww.
How do you come up with vlog ideas and a vlog schedule? With me, my vlog schedule is very broad. I tried to say that I was going to create and post videos on, I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that didn't work out. And then it was Mondays and Wednesdays, and that didn't work out. So now I'm very vague. I will post 1 or 2 videos a week.
I try to do
that I can stick to.
Yeah. I try to do like 3, and then I kind of have topics. Like Monday I do MM reviews, just because that's what my genre, like one of the genre, like all of these have geek characters, main characters. So I want to kind of draw more people into my channel that might read those kind of genre specific things. So I do that, and then on Mondays and then Wednesday I do writing videos because I like to write, and I think that's what we like to do. We're writers, we talk about it. And then Friday I do fashionable things because I like fashion. See my hair clip, I'll talk about them or whatever pops into my head. And so I try to make it more stuff related to that, and then giving me parameters like this day I talk about that, and that day I talk about that, and this day I talk about that, kind of makes it, and they're all three kind of diverse topics, so that probably hurts me a little, but at the same time I don't get bored with it, and I don't run out of ideas easily because something will pop up. And I think you can probably look at like old blog posts. Like blogging used to be so huge back in the day. I don't think it's as huge anymore, but those people had to think of blog posts every day, and there's probably tons of just suggestions for blog ideas that you could probably use for vlogs.
I post about writing and I post about books. So I look at to see if anyone is asking any questions in any comment sections that I haven't covered. I'll look at, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I'll see if anyone's talking about anything that I'm interested in, and maybe if there's something that comes up that I could put my own spin on it. I also am very active in Facebook communities and on Twitter, and if conversations pop up or something interesting pops up in some of those, I might take the topic and talk about it in a video. Like right now, there's been a lot of discussion on Twitter about diversity in literature, especially in young adult fiction, and I have been thinking very hard about making a video about how to have actual effective discussions about these topics. So I feel like sometimes they're not very effective, and it seems like people are just kind of yelling at each other instead of sharing thoughts and ideas and trying to expand each other's understanding and awareness. But so look forward to that video in the future sometime, probably in the beginning of next year. And one thing that I do for everything is I have these notepads, and oh, look at that, a to-do list. I love to-do lists. But I write down ideas. So if there's an idea that kind of pops up from somewhere, I'll make sure to scribble that down in a notepad so that if there is a time when I am stuck for an idea, I can look over it. Oh, okay, I already had some ideas. So I can draw from there. I hope that helps.
Yeah, and then sometimes I don't have anything to talk about that week. I just don't use that topic, which is bad. But I usually do 3. So I figured if I do 2 one day, no one's gonna really miss it. But that's probably horrible advice. Don't listen to me with that. And then I try to do a lot of recording all at once because I find that easier because I have to get dressed up, if that makes sense. So I usually get dressed up anyway, but when I'm home, I'm like, I'm in my pajamas, I'm already home. So I try to do like most of the recording over the weekend. I do all 3 at once. That way it's done. And then the only thing I have to do during the week is to edit. That way I can focus on my writing, hopefully, and not so much on Facebook and YouTube, which happens anyway.
Yeah, I go back and forth. Sometimes I do more than 1 video in a day, and sometimes I don't. And now that I think about it, I recorded a book no, it was a reading tag, and I don't think I edited it. Oh my gosh. Let me write this. It goes on the to-do list. Excuse me. I did a Harlequin book tag thing, and oh crap. Okay, well.
Good thing you had that list.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this topic up, Wordsfall. You helped me remember things.
Yeah. So do you have any way you're approaching the goals differently than you did last year to help you out?
I am trying to make my goals a bit more specific.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that these goals will be a little bit more focused.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to have kind of some overarching things that I want to work on, but I really, really, really want to be very much self-sustaining from my writing and my published works within 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to do that, I need to publish more books and market more, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm trying to focus on what I need to do in order to get to that ultimate goal. Do you have an ultimate goal?
Well, mine's kind of the same way as yours, so that works out. But like I said, I'm trying to do like 4 next year. The sequel to 1, and I'm trying to make I guess series in a way, because they go together and people would want to read them back to back kind of issues. Because so I have like the Yakuza, which is like the Japanese mob book, which I love to death. I don't think it's not the romance title, which I think more people read romance, and romance readers are more various readers, and the thriller title is definitely not a romance, but I like it.
I mean, show that cover. Like, show that cover again.
Okay, here you go. Here, can you
It
see it?
is so good.
It's so not romance. Yeah, I had a good cover designer. She was very recommended and had lots of reviews. I just didn't get along with her as well as I did with this cover artist. I think it's just communication styles were different, and that happens. You just don't get along with some people. But she did it. She did a good job on the cover. I'm not gonna like deny the good coverness. It's just more personal stuff I just didn't agree with sometimes. So I'm working on the second one of that, and then two of the same romance people with the same 2 guys, and then one of them is really nice because one of them is the newsletter I do every month. Like every month I send out a free newsletter, and I worked on those during the summer, so I wrote all 12 of them out, and then I've been sending them away as like an incentive to join the newsletter, which is free, so you get a nice cute short story every month. And then when that gets finished, I'm gonna write like an extra like longer one, probably like 60, 90 pages, somewhere around there, and that's gonna be a book. So that makes it easy because this is something I did so long ago, and I'm giving it away for free, but then I'm gonna combine it to like its own thing. So it's like something that I was doing, and I don't have to like work on it. I have to work on that short story that I made, but I already finished the work on it. So it's not something I have to like actively do. And then I have a random book, which I want to do towards the later of the year, which was actually the first NaNoWriMo project I ever did. I would say it's a horrible mess, but I think by the time it comes out, it will be not a horrible mess and worthwhile to readers, whatever I decide to call it.
So, specifically speaking.
Oh yeah, I was very vague there. So I guess specifically speaking is that focusing more on things that are more reachable to an audience, and then also being very smart with the production of it. So not hopefully getting us distracted and not getting distracted by wanting to do like, I want to write this book that has nothing to do with anything else and is more unrelated to stuff. So trying to be smarter with what I'm writing. Like I know the romance book is going to do better than the thriller, so I probably shouldn't spend like, I probably shouldn't write the next 3 thriller books just because I know that won't go over so well as if I wrote 2 of the romance books. So it's kind of being smarter with what I'm deciding to write on. Like I want to write the romance books. I think they're super cute and adorable, and even though no one dies, I still think they're cute and adorable. So I can get all my cuteness and just get all my death with the thriller out. So I'm trying to be smarter in what I decide to produce. Like I can still write those other books, but it's okay if I wait like another 2 or 3 years. That's not a big deal. Hopefully I live that long, so there'll be a scene coming, and yeah, I guess more marketable things, and just worrying about the funnels and what more readers would want as opposed to what I personally want.
I am writing down my goals now as I think of them.
Are you? I think what I did is I made like a spreadsheet and I put like all the months out, and then I did like every quarter, so every 3 months, you know, the 30-day cliff they say. And I try to put one book in each quarter, but like the first time I felt like I'm really trying to get the second Yakuza book out sooner, because that's like a big series, because I figure the romance one people can just get from the newsletter. So I don't know, I didn't quite work out unless I wanted to get it in March, but there's no way that book's going to be ready in March. So I'm trying to get the specific goals, one for each quarter, which I think is more of a wise choice.
I was just looking at, I have my 2016 writing goals. They were all like the major projects that I wanted to finish for this year. And I'll talk about them in depth in a video that I'll post at the beginning of the year of 2017 rather. But I see that what I did was kind of just write vague things.
Yeah.
But that was, you know, that was in the beginning of the year before I really started digging into how to do goals and how to set them for yourself. So I'm looking here and I'm like, I didn't achieve, out of these 7, I didn't achieve 4 of them. And is that because I wasn't specific enough in my goals? And I really think that's true. I don't think that I set those goals in a way that was action oriented. It was more of like the idea of I want to publish this thing, but not any steps toward publishing the thing.
Yeah, and I think that's something, because there's so many steps, especially if you do it yourself, because you got to get depending on what you want to market out, you got to get the proofreader, the proof editor, maybe send it to like a beta reader or 2, which you got to wait for their feedback on it, and then you want to do the cover artist, the cover art, and then the format, if you want to do the format, and then just like taking the time to upload it. I know I had some issues with like CreateSpace because I have a pen name, and obviously my name's not Amy Tasukada, people, if you, it's not. I'm sorry if I broke your heart, but that's okay. Anyway, so I had some issues with that because all the tax information was different from the information as the author. So they wanted to, it's probably a good thing, they wanted to make sure I wasn't stealing some author's work and putting it up as my own. But that took like an extra day to be like, no, this is mine. This person doesn't exist. It's my figment, my imagination since I was like 16. So like even like small things, because you still have to, like, if it's your first time, you got to learn how to do all that stuff. And the second time I was like, oh yeah, they just want to make sure I'm neat. So I was able to be like, bam, here's the information, losers, you know, kind of thing. Like, really, you're gonna blame me for this? I already talked about this before. So so the second time I'm just like, oh, it's not a big deal. But the first time I'm like, oh my, what's going on? Why can't they do this? So I want to say it gets easier with each one. And as you probably progress through the goals of next year, hopefully the whole production line gets easier since you did the Appalachian Trail book.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm saying that since you've done one production of the Appalachian Trail book, that it should be easier next year because you know the process a bit more, so you can better define the goals you've got. Like, you know how long it takes to do like this thing. So
yeah, I think all of this is trial and error, right?
Yeah.
Just learning how it works. I think those authors who produce 5, 6, 7 books a year, they've been doing it for a long time. They have their process down. They know how this works. And at the beginning of the things, you're kind of just in the weeds trying to work your way out. So with some of the goals that I have for next year, one thing that I had on this list that I wanted to do and I didn't was I wanted to produce a book of short stories just of my own. And I did not do that. So in order to work toward that goal, I want to write 2 short stories per week.
2, wow.
Mhm.
I'm impressed.
But they'll be rough drafts, and some of them will be flash fiction. Because I know that you're not supposed to use them interchangeably, but I really do. But I think that if I do that for the first 2 quarters of the year, then the second quarter I'll definitely have material to put together some type of collection that I'd be able to produce. Another thing that I'm going to do during the first half of the year is write one novella. I want to, I'm hoping, I'm going to try really hard to put out 2 books next year, 2 full-length novels. And if that's the case, then in between them, I would like to produce a novella that would go out in between. So a book, a novella, a book, and then a novella, and all of it be in the same world.
Oh, that's good. I was just about to ask that. I'm like, are they related to each other? And you're like, bam, I already got it.
So, well, let's fingers crossed.
You can do it.
But so with Blood Roses and Honeysuckles, I need to finish the rough draft for that by the end of this month. And then the first quarter of 2017, I'm going to be working toward editing that, getting it out to beta readers and shaping that up, and hopefully publishing it in the second quarter.
Yeah. It's interesting. Quotidian Light says that she has 2 goals for the new year, which is submit something to a literary journal every month and write 1 poem a week. And write my pen name series and publish the first 3 books. Wow. That's impressive. But some of these like already popped up. I assume like some of the stuff I'm working on I already wrote.
Which is awesome. That means that you're continuing projects, and that's always great. Oh, I want to do something more with my newsletter, and I don't have anything specific with that yet. But when I make my video in January, I'll talk about that in more specifics. But you started your newsletter with a definite goal, and I just knew that I wanted to have a newsletter in order to reach my readers, and that I wanted to be able to tell them about stuff that was going on. But I don't have that overarching idea that's kind of pulling it all together. So I need to develop that.
Yeah, I think that was something, because I know like personally, like I don't sign up for like any author's newsletter because I'm like, if I really like you as an author, I'm following you on like Facebook or Twitter or something. So I'm like, I have no incentive to join your newsletter because I already know when something's coming out. So I wanted to do something that I know I would join. So if I like the author, I want to read more stuff like right now by them. So if I gave out free stories, I'd be like, look, you can get something every month. So that would be like an incentive for me. So I was trying to put it from someone who doesn't join newsletters kind of point of view.
Very smart, very strategic. Let's see. And Quidosian Light agrees with me. She said that is smart, Amy. I always say that wrong. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, and I'm so sorry. Words Fall says that she does want beta readers in 2017. Yeah, I don't have any. I think of Amy more as an alpha reader than a beta reader. And I have one other person that's more of an alpha, but I don't have a herd of beta readers yet. So that's something that I'll be working toward.
There's
how that works.
There's someone on Twitter that did it. So I'm part of like a Goodreads group for romance writers, even though I do like romance and thrillers. I warned them. I told them that it was a thriller. They still cry. But so I'm in that group, and what I do is I have one from this Twitter author lady put it together, and then that one gets the story first, and then she writes comments, and then the next week, so I send about 2 or 3 chapters a week. So once I get her comments, I edit them, and then I give them out to the critique group people. So this is happening as I'm writing them. Like tomorrow I should give her the next 2, and then I got the comments from the other 2, and eventually the next big draft, I'll edit the comments from the beta team 2 kind of thing. And then I have, once those are all done and assembled and I got the copyright done, then I'm gonna send it out to like this is the last big edit that other people see before it goes out edit. So I think sometimes it's helpful not to send them all at once. I know some people do like, here's the whole book. But when you do that, then you're kind of like not able to make changes as you go along. Like one person said how, the emotions weren't strong, which is obviously because it's still a draft. They wouldn't be. That's something that I always like add later. So instead of giving someone the whole book and then them being confused about a subject or they're not getting the thing, I can immediately make changes from the next draft that they like, the next few chapters they read. So that's something I recommend, is getting like, I guess, a critique partner then. That way that you meet like monthly or bi-weekly. And I use like online Google Docs because it's so easy to like read comments. And I think that's an easy way to go about it, and probably a good way. That way you can get the feedback quicker and immediately implement it for the next section.
Yeah, I definitely second it. Google Docs, excellent. And then you can have a conversation with someone in the Google Docs in real time and edit it kind of together if that was something that you wanted to do, which I found really helpful with doing the Appalachian Terror Trail. It was really helpful to be able to edit while we were going along.
Oh, we got a lot of questions coming in the chat. Quotidian is asking us, what do we hope to get out of the beta readers and that you don't get out of working, of the workshopping or alpha readers? So
the beta readers would tell me about kind of, or this is what I'm hoping, that because I'll have a list of specific questions that I need answered. And with my alpha readers, I'm not asking them any specific questions. I want them to tell me what they see as it comes. Beta readers, I want it to be much more directed. And I'll be asking them for more of overarching issues, probably. But that hasn't happened yet. So that's just what I'm guessing.
You work with them differently than I do. I think usually I'm worried about like them being confused because most of my books take place in Japan. I do have some, not a lot of Japanese words, but I use them and cultures and stuff. So I hope for them to like immediately pick up on things that are confusing or things that need to be explained better, and things that are lacking. And kind of with beta reader A and B, I kind of hope for that, for the same. When I go to my in-person critique group, they're more into like, oh, this has a passive voice, or you need to clean up the HADs or something. The in-person critique group is more, I would say like line specific, more so than the beta readers are. And then the alpha reader, the person who I let read it after the copyright, is getting it all at once. So hope for them that they find like repetition or things that seem out of character or things that just don't seem to work with the flow. Like, oh, you've repeated this line like every single chapter. Like, I don't care about this line anymore. So that's what I hope to get out of the last critique person.
On Twitter, Vita Falkenstaff says she's on her phone, so she can't watch and tweet us at the same time. So, but I hope you chose to watch. It's probably late where she is.
Oh, I don't know where she's from.
What country? I feel like she's in Sweden.
Oh, I guess it would be kind of late. Oh, and then Ellie is asking about your coloring book, Tamara, and how's that coming along?
The coloring book is coming along pretty well. I am still getting some photos for it. It's going with the Appalachian Terror Trail. Why can't I say that?
Maybe that's something to research. Well, you could say your next book title.
It just doesn't roll off of my tongue. stumble over it. I'm much better on paper. But anyway, so that and the paperback of the anthology are going to come out next month. Probably, I'm guessing, on the 16th or so. So
sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. The coloring book is going to be an adult coloring book, and it's taking real life photos in the Appalachia area, specifically West Virginia and Pennsylvania, and taking those and converting them into adult coloring book pages. And it's just going to be really fun. And they'll be sold as a combo, or you can buy them separately, of course, but the combination will be, you know, discounted price and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, I really like adult coloring books. I think they're fun. And I was looking and I didn't find any that were that region specific. They might exist, of course, but I didn't find one. So I thought I'll go ahead and fill that need.
Yeah, I think that sounds interesting. Like I do with the newsletter story, I have an illustrator that I work with that does illustrations to go with it, which is, they're usually very adorable. And I'm like, oh, that'd be fun if I could convert those to a coloring book, and that way people can like, I want to give Ali green hair today instead of blonde or something like that. Like, let's make him have stripes outfits and this kind of color it. So I think that's something interesting that I'll have to chat with you about to figure out this process of turning things into lines.
It's really interesting. I am not doing that part. Fortunately, I have a friend who's going to do it for me because she's done it before, and I just feel like that's just one other thing that I don't need to learn right now.
Yeah, I can see that being like you know, the 20% thing instead of the 80% that you should focus on.
Yeah, I think that would definitely take a lot of my time. So just like creating covers, I won't be creating the cover for that either. Someone else will do that. So we have been on for a little over an hour now.
Yeah, I think.
Do you want to wrap up soon?
That works for me. We can tell them all about our interesting, lovely things. Like these two books I've been holding up very happily. They're actually currently on sale, obviously, but there's also a giveaway to both of them. One of them's a Goodreads giveaway, and I'm sorry it's only available in the US, but if you want an autographed copy of this awesome book, right, I have to go like, this is the interior of it, and because I went fancy. And then the chapters have little blood splatters, which are just so adorable.
I love it.
Adorable blood splatters. But that one you can get an autographed copy for free on the link is down below in the YouTube thing. It is a Goodreads giveaway, and I will autograph it and send it your way, and it'll be one that I've touched and everything. And then the Happy Merry Christmas, which is just a little novella. It's nothing too big. That one's a giveaway with my publisher, and you like click on things, and then, you know, you click on things, you know, one of those Rafflecopter ones. So that's it. And then my free newsletter with the cute, adorable romancy where no death occurs is linked also down below. And that's for free, and you don't have to worry about winning, because every first of the month you're a winner by getting the story and a cute image to go with it.
And I have a newsletter that comes out twice a month, so you should sign up for that. The link is in the description. I also have the Appalachian Terror Trail, not rolling off the tongue. Volume 1 is currently out. It just launched on Friday. That just happened? My
yeah,
God.
I got my copy, and I'm excited to start reading it. It's on my list of things to read.
Oh, gosh, I am so proud of it, and I'm so excited for everyone to read it. And it is, right now, it's just available through KDP Select, which is the Kindle thing. So for, I'm probably going to have it on there for 60 days. So right now it's just a Kindle ebook. And then next month it'll be released as a paperback, if that's more along your speed. And so that link is in the description. And this is my YouTube channel where I talk about books and writing. and I put out 1 to 2 videos a week. So if you haven't already, you should certainly subscribe. And Amy's YouTube channel link is in the description as well. And we are both in #writestuff, which is a Twitter chat that happens every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So you should come and hang out there. And we have a Facebook group as well, which you should come and talk to us there. We are just everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yes. Yes, there's no escaping our pool of awesomeness.
And this has been a great conversation. I'm really glad that we are doing these and keeping up with it. I feel like it keeps me on track.
Oh yeah, and a special thanks to like Words Fall and Quintillion Light and everybody else that joined us on a chat. That just makes it so much more interactive. And you know, though I like talking to Tamara, it's also nice to talk to other people too, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to be able to talk to other people. And sometimes we kind of look at each other like, awkward pause.
Yeah. And then you guys helped me not go on a random tangent that went really random out there. So you guys kept us on track, which is also helpful.
Always good.
Yeah.
So I think that we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
And so all of our links are in the description. Please come and find us. Read our books. That would be great.
Yeah, leave reviews for our books if you read them. That's probably the #1 way to thank us after buying them.
It is the season for giving.
Yeah,
so
they make good gifts.
To give authors reviews. Happy holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope that you're having a great year, and if not, I hope 2017 is so much better for you. And
for
definitely
everybody.
take time to create goals. And yes, for everybody, including myself.
So much better.
And you and me. Let's have better 2017s. Let's do it. Write all the things.
Yeah. Write all the words.
Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Have a great week, and see you next time.
Yeah. Bye-bye.